Join me as we talk all things true crime.
Made contact and shattered.
The missing 4-year-old. The parents have called the other but the mother has went for a wall, came home, now they can't find her.
Chad, where are Lori's kids? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say?
4 were stabbed multiple times and were likely asleep during the attack. Some had defensive wounds.
Most of them had just like one that was the lethal stab wound.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Once I told a lie, and I told my family, I had to keep lying.
McSherman is a demon.
We haven't cleared anybody.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for another ATS News live stream. This one we are covering Sebastian Rogers, who, as many of you guys know, has been missing since the end of February. So we are just keeping his name and face out there. We've gotten some new information since our last live stream on this. This has been a very troubling and confusing case. A lot of questions of, is foul play involved or not? Law enforcement are still stating no signs or evidence of foul play, but that's still not ruled out of the question or off the table. So yes, the latest is Dog the Bounty Hunter has joined the team for the search of him. The reward right now, if I'm correct, because all the news segments keep saying $50,000, I believe it has been upped to $100,000. So correct me if I'm wrong, chat. So let's start off with some articles to read through. And what I want to know is a lot of TMZ articles are sold stories. So I'm wondering who sold this story to TMZ, because I haven't seen them kind of post about Sebastian. Thank you so much, Pointer Lover, since Dog joined. And thank you, my sound guy, Johnny. Hi, Eddie. The Cat's Life is here. Adrian is here. Christine, Tony. Also, those who were in the Watts live stream last night, hey, Sprinkle Donut, good to see you. Every time I see your name and picture, it really makes me hungry. Here's some tea for everyone to have while you're getting settled. Oh, so lucky. We have a little pop-in from Crazy Crime Chick. Good to see you. Miss you. I hope you're doing well. Fan lady says, I think I may pay Dog to find NK for me. I'm just so curious. In all seriousness, I met Dog and his son when I vacationed in Hawaii back in 2009. Oh, wow. Cool. Also, I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. Hey, Debbie Fox, Natasha, everyone hit that like button. Let's get the story out there. Hello, Crystal. So anyways, a follow-up to our live stream last night on the Watts case. We discussed her makeup, and a subscriber and viewer has told us and shown that Shanann had makeup wipes packaged next to her bed on the nightstand. So whatever that means, it's just added info and detail to everything, kind of talking about her makeup and all that. The fact that it was on her nightstand, to me, would mean that she would have wiped it off before bed. So we'll discuss that again next Thursday when we do our Watt stuff. But for those who wanted to know, that was kind of an update information. The search for the missing 15-year-old boy with autism is going Hollywood. I hate how they just worded that, but what can you expect from TMZ? What kind of startup to an article is that? It's going Hollywood? How cringe. No, you don't turn a missing child story into some sensationalized title or intro like that. It's not like we're talking about, the biggest pumpkin grown at the pumpkin patch that's now getting its own TV show or something. This is a child. No, it's not going Hollywood. even with dog attached to it. Like, I still feel like that's not the right way to kind of start this article. Anyways, guess I should have read it before I went live. Dog the Bounty Hunter is officially joining the hunt for Sebastian Rogers. The famed TV personality just announced he's getting involved in the case of Sebastian's mysterious disappearance. That I will agree with. I think that there's a lot of mystery surrounding this case, and a lot of people are drawn to this case because of the mystery kind of involved, a lot of unknowns. And also, as I'm reading this, I don't follow the drama. I just know that I've been seeing, I don't even know. I keep calling her Blowhorn Betty, but I guess it's Bullhorn Betty. What is the deal? So Sebastian's mother and stepfather filed protection order, right, against her because of extreme comments that she was stating on her channel and driving by their house or whatever. What is the latest? That's the last that I heard. Yeah, well, that's not as bad as some of the other names I've heard people give her. Blow and then some other word, Betty. I think you guys can figure it out. Baby Son Forever says, I in no way believe there wasn't foul play. This reeks of foul play. I mean, at this point, wouldn't he have been found if he just walked away? I know they're not the best. I have other articles too, but I wanted to. This one had dog right on the cover, so I was like, "What's this?" Dog is asking folks to contact his tip line with any information, whereabouts, or potential leads. He is hyping up the $100,000 reward tied to this case. Sebastian, an autistic teen from Tennessee, has been missing since February 26, when his parents claim he left the family home in Henderson in the middle of the night and never came back. See, this is just so, when we're talking about foul play or not, he had no shoes on. How is the narrative still being pushed that he left home? No shoes, no jacket missing. He didn't bring his phone with him. He doesn't like the outdoors. Sebastian, if you have any information, okay, so this is his tweet on X. Contact Dog the Bounty Hunter official tip line at 833-TELL-DOG. Oops. 833-835-5364. Or nick the hat directly by texting 332-252-3636. And then that's the reward. Let's do our part and bring Sebastian home. Hold on, clicking to look at the full thing. And lock those up responsible for the rest of the time, for the rest of time. The hunt is on. Let's go. Aloha. And this flyer says that his date of birth is December 7th, 2008. Place of birth is Tennessee. His height is 5'5", 120 pounds, blonde or brown hair. I don't get why it has blonde or brown hair. I guess like maybe in winter it gets darker. Eyes brown or hazel. See, that I understand because my little girl's eyes like have gone all over the place from being blue to gray to hazel to brown, depending on the lighting and the season. Obviously, he's a male, American. Remarks, it says Sebastian is an autistic teenager with a fascination for water. That's something that they haven't really, like they mentioned that he likes swimming or something, but that's interesting because we never really have heard like that quote, have we? Like fascination with water. He was last seen at his home in Sumner County. Despite extensive searches involving local, state, and federal agencies, including the FBI and Secret Service, no confirmed sightings have been reported. The investigation remains ongoing with continuous review and reevaluation of collected evidence. So they have collected things. And it looks like continuous review and reevaluation. Like, it sounds like they're like hitting so many like dead ends. And that's good that they're going back through things and stuff, but it just doesn't give me hope as far as like them having a stable footing. I don't know. It sounds very much like the Summer Wells case. Okay, so though that evidence includes digital and video surveillance. At night, private intelligence agency is independently assisting. Interesting. Amber Alert is active since February 26. Sebastian was last seen near his home. So notice how they're stating the last place that he's been seen is near his home. Because it's like, can we assume that they did make it home from Texas Roadhouse then? Right, he loves swimming pools. I remember that, not lakes or ponds. Dog didn't do much with Brian Laundrie, right? Yeah, I've never heard fascination with water either. All right, so can we assume that they're letting us know that he did make it home from Texas Roadhouse? Because it says Sebastian was last seen near his home. And what does near his home mean? That's not in the home. That's confusing to me. Maybe I'm overreading it. What do you guys think? His mother discovered him missing when she went to wake him for school. Extensive searches were conducted involving multiple agencies, including ground, aerial, and water searches. Surveillance videos, cell phone data, and other digital forensics were analyzed, though no significant leads emerged directly from these. On August 26, the FBI announced a reward up to $50,000 for information leading to Sebastian's return or the conviction of those responsible. So this sounds very much like they're not like tiptoeing around, foul play. Like FBI is basically saying, we will give you this reward and we want to, catch those who are responsible. Hold on, let me just switch up this screen because I'm reading it off of Twitter, which is easier to kind of see visually because it's on a black background. Hang on. So the way that this FBI stuff is sounding, FBI announced a reward up to $50,000 for information leading to Sebastian's return or the conviction of those responsible. So it sounds like they're under the impression that there is foul play, even though Sumner County Sheriff's Office have kind of left that like elusive, kind of like, well, no evidence, but it's not off the table. FBI is coming out saying like, we'll give you $50,000. Like if you have information of bringing them home or, help us get who took them or who did this. What do you think? They were saying he went missing from his phone or from his home. Yeah, it just says like last seen near his home. I don't know. Yes, that's true. We've discussed that as well. They are fascinated with water. An autistic person directly stated to me that it might have something to do with the sensory aspect. Yes, we need a vehicle description. Doesn't there have to be a car sighting involved in an Amber Alert? Wasn't that why there wasn't an Amber Alert for Bell and CC? Yes, Jennifer, and I've pointed this out numerous times ever since researching the Watts case. That is not an official requirement. Like, I do not understand why FBI agent Coder told Chris Watts that. Like, yes, that helps. And a lot of Amber Alerts, you will get a car description, but that's not something that they need for an Amber Alert. So, many times in interviews, law enforcement's allowed to lie or say what they need to. I don't know if Coder was just trying to use some sort of tactic, but that I had fact checked so long ago, like that's not a requirement. You can put an Amber Alert out without a vehicle. In more ways than one, the mass amounts of questions and things that make no sense. And now the drama train has tried to attach itself to the case like summer, sadly. I know. And half of this title, like talking about updates and the ridiculousness, like I just wanted to rant. Like, I'm so sick of going to these Facebook groups where I'm supposed to be getting updates and information from, and I'm seeing that those channels that are tied, I won't even say their names. Won't even say their names because they don't deserve the attention. They're taking away from this case, this child who has been missing. Why am I going to Sebastian Rogers hashtags and Facebook groups and seeing pictures of these YouTubers? Like, that is sick. It is absolutely sick. And then they get themselves in criminal issues and then asking their subs to help bail them out. And the subs are sending money. I'm like, this is unfreaking believable. Hi, Linda, and everyone who joined. Yes, pretty please, y'all hit the like. Thank you. It definitely is a sensory thing from what I was told. And hello, everyone else who joined. I just can't even. Yes, I know, Seth. That's what I don't get either. Like, there's so many people who have children like Sebastian, and on all levels of the spectrum who know, like, okay, let's have alarms on our doors. Let's have double locks on our doors. Let's have, they didn't even have a security cameras going or security lights outside. It's just so, like, way too coincidental. Remember when the mother is asked about, like, lights by Nancy Grace, like, on the outside? Chris was like, well, they weren't turned on or something like that. Like, oh, how convenient. How convenient. Yeah, apparently. And now she's in legal trouble and is like, oh, she has her, like, mods putting out statements in groups and stuff and in their little chat saying, like, anything can help her, blah, blah, blah. Like, why would you give money to somebody who's breaking the law? Like, a judge has said, yes, we will grant this because she's stepping over boundaries. Gets herself arrested for breaking the boundaries that she's been given, and then is asking for help from her subs. I'm just like, I knew people were stupid in this world, but I never, like, understood the level of stupidity until I seen some of these things going on in these groups and stuff and channels. Right. How convenient, like Katie said, that particular night. Yeah, everything seemed like by design. Lights weren't on, camera wasn't on. The mother's on the phone with the stepdad for 3 hours. I mean, who talks for 3 hours? Let's be real. Who's talking to anybody for 3 hours? I agree, Mello. I still say Katie isn't upset enough. She knows Sebastian is safe. Interesting. So is it that she knows that he's safe, or is it that she's kind of detached because she knows he's never coming back? Could see it going either way. Yeah, it was all just so convenient. We invested in alarms after having 2 autistic littles placed with us recently. I couldn't sleep until they arrived and were installed. Right. I mean, even people who don't have children who are prone to running off or special needs or autistic needs, whatever you guys want to say. I mean, almost everybody has, like, Ring camera and stuff. No matter where they live, you could be out in the middle of nowhere and people are still, buying the Ring camera. Yeah, where would he be? I'm curious too. Hey, yeah, let's unpack that in MK. Hey, Cindy, thanks for joining us. Where would he be if he was safe? Because from my understanding is they've also reached out to extended family as well in this case. Jay says, I wouldn't say he's safe. I'd say she's cold, detached, because he's gone, meaning not coming back. I fear that to be true. I really do. I hope it's not, but I'm feeling like it could be. All right, so they're re-examining evidence, like we said. They're giving out $50K reward for information leading to Sebastian's return or a conviction of those responsible. The case remains active with no definitive clues. That's terrible. No definitive clues on whether criminal activity is involved. All right. See, that's what's so weird. Like, information for here's 50K, now it's 100K for information leading to his return or conviction of those responsible, and then it follows up with no definitive clues on whether this is criminal activity. Okay. The investigation includes re-interviewing witnesses, re-examining evidence. Oh, I'm sure Chris is loving being re-interviewed numerous times, and follow up on tips. The Amber Alert remains active as TBI Special Agents, Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and FBI continue their search. The FBI Memphis Field Office is now offering a reward of $50K, and now it's up to $100K because of Dog's involvement, for information leading to a safe return. It just repeats itself. So it says this twice in that little paragraph, leading to his safe return or to the arrest of those involved in his disappearance. But then, like the sentence prior, it says, but no definitive clues leading to a criminal element. At Night Private Intelligence is offering an additional $50K reward, making the reward potential $100K. Investigators are reevaluating all collected information and following up on new tips. If you have any tips or information, contact Dog, and I already listed his name and number. At Night Intelligence is actively supporting the search for Sebastian by deploying additional resources to locate him, working independently from the state officials. For comprehensive details on the reward and how you can help, visit oneworldmedia.com. You can also submit tips to tips@manhunts.one. All tipsters may remain anonymous if you wish. All right, so let's just read back on that Dog article. Search efforts among multiple law enforcement agencies have so far come up empty, and even the FBI have been unable to track down the teen who is said to have a fascination with water. Okay, so they're repeating that. Sebastian's described at, and we already gave his description. Dogs tracked down a ton of folks over the years, including on his reality TV show, and joined the Brian Laundrie manhunt a couple years back. So it'll be interesting to see if he's the key here. Sounds like Dog is jumping right into the case saying the hunt is on, let's go. All right, I'm just going to leave this flyer up as I read another article. Right. Especially the mother working for a security company, home security company. Why wouldn't the cameras be on? And remember when somebody asked Chris that question on a live stream about are there cameras in and around the house? He was like, I can't divulge that kind of information. It's part of the investigation. Why can't you tell us if you have cameras? Is it because you do and you just don't want to say that they weren't on? So bizarre. Katie claims he needed his space because he's a teenage boy and that he takes his medicine on his own. Any teenager should be dispersed, their medication due to overtaking it. Right. It shouldn't be anything that like, oh, have at it. You know what you're doing. Having Dog involved and the reward is making it seem like that is what it takes for people to realize Sebastian's missing. Yeah, keep my 13-year-old daughter's medicine in a locked box. So apparently he kept calling Seth the biological father. Sean, we'll watch that clip too. So this is what's so funny about your comment. Dog will search after he figures out who Sean is. Dog is backing Seth, really? Interesting. Dog caught the Max Factor rapist, Stuart Luster. He went to Mexico and got him after he jumped bail and took a risk because bounty hunting is illegal in Mexico, but got him and saved the other woman. That is very admirable. I mean, he definitely has done work as a bounty hunter. I mean, whether or not you think he just likes the limelight or attention, he has done things. And yeah, going to Mexico, even on vacation, let alone bounty hunting, is definitely dangerous nowadays. This case isn't well known here in Canada, but I've been keeping his face out there. I mean, honestly, no one that I talk to really knows about it either. Hey, House Huddle. Yeah, too many random coincidences, not buying any of it. I know. And I hate to condemn people based off of their behaviors, but everyone close to this kid, I'm very, side-eye of. Doug being involved makes it look like a circus to me. Definitely doesn't make it not look like a circus, right? At least now when I'm looking up the hashtag Sebastian Rogers, I'm seeing Dog's face rather than these other YouTubers that I just do not care about. Seth, I think that they want to find Sebastian, even if he's dead or alive, before they clear anyone. That's why I think. I don't know if it's more information of why he's not cleared, but from my understanding, no one has been cleared. Seth's whole team is extremely suspicious AF. Yeah, at least Dog's actually trying to do something, unlike those Chroma creators. No, they're grifters. They're streaming. Oh, we're driving by their place. Why are you stalking these people? You look unhinged. And then the creators, Seth, I heard that was a lie, that they're not cleared. Does anyone know if that was true or not? Because I can't keep up with this circus. Dog has found some really hard criminals, even though he is a little eccentric. He has also saved a lot of people. The whole situation is incredibly sad. However, there's so many missing and abused children that people aren't even talking about or helping. Instead, they're just going to run live streams bashing these other creators instead of just ignoring it and saying, let's just focus on the missing. We've really tried to do that here. We really have. Hey, Sherry. But let's face it, it's almost like we can't talk about this case without the circus. Okay, they're not clear. See, that's the thing. So many things going around on these YouTube streets. It's unfortunate. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up another article. Of course, it's probably going to have the same information. Celebrity dog bounty hunter Dwayne Chapman, also known as Dog the Bounty Hunter, is joining the search for Sebastian Rogers as Sumner County teen who went missing more than 6 months ago. Chapman told News 2 he is helping Sebastian's biological dad, Seth Rogers, and raising the reward for information about the 15-year-old's disappearance. Several agencies, including Sumner County Sheriff's Office, have led searches for the teen before scaling back to focus on the investigative side. Following the search for University of Missouri student Riley Strain, groups like United Cajun Navy have helped look for Hendersonville teen, but they withdrew their efforts with no sight of Sebastian. Oh my gosh, now they're referring to the YouTuber. Blah, blah, blah. a true crime social media influencer whose real name is blah, 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 also join in on the efforts, making sure to include Seth. Since Sebastian first disappeared, Seth has not given up on finding his son. Last week, the FBI announced a reward of $50,000 for information on the case. Law enforcement has not said if anything criminal has happened to Sebastian. See, that's key too. They haven't said it. They might not want that known yet. Keeping the cards close to their chest. Still seeing the need for answers, Chapman stepped in to help Seth and uncover the truth while increasing the reward to $100,000. This is one of the most horrendous cases of missing children that we've ever worked on, Chapman explained. The bottom line is, if you hurt a kid like this, you've got a problem. So that is the main motivation for me to be hunting who did this, he expressed. So it seems like he's under the impression there's foul play and that Sebastian didn't just walk out the door. Chapman told News 2 that he and his team will work independently from law enforcement, but will reevaluate collected information and follow up on new leads. This isn't my first rodeo in finding missing children or finding who's done it, Chapman said. Chapman added that he believes by working with Seth, following up on leads and increasing the reward money will find answers that they've been looking for. You can run, but you can't hide who did it, Chapman said. We're going to find out. He said, you have a tip, give me a call. I'm not law enforcement, Chapman explained. I don't have to ask you for your social security, write down your name and bring you into court and all that. That's why a lot of times I get information more than law enforcement does. So I will, of course, pass it on to law enforcement because they will probably do the apprehension. And then it gives a tip line. It says you can also contact 1-800-TBI-FIND, which is scrolling on the bottom of the screen on here. You can also email it to tipstotbi@tbi.tn.gov. You can also contact your local FBI office, the nearest American embassy or consulate, or submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. Also gives his description: 5'5", 120 pounds, dirty blonde hair, last seen on Monday, February 26, near Stamford Court, wearing a black sweatshirt and black sweatpants, said TBI. Talks about the Amber Alert. Obviously, there is still no vehicle description either. So, and there was never an official vehicle description in the Summer Wells case either. And that is still an active Amber Alert too. Like there was talk of a red, whatchamacallit, truck, but it seemed like they kind of backed away from that. Do you guys remember that? Like that's not on the official, whatchamacallit. Yeah, MK. That's true. And sadly, I see these people who are causing the chaos, causing it because the chaos draws people in. They're like, oh, okay, let's stir this stuff up. It's unbelievable. It's very sad. And they did the same thing to Summer's case. Sorry, guys. I still have like sore throat and getting over the sickness. So my apologies. Thank you, Beard Freak. Yeah, Seth wants answers. Do you want from Katie? Seth, what answers do you want from Katie? And my thing is, which I thought you were saying, is Seth wants answers, but and none of these articles that we've read today does it say the mother wants answers. In fact, she's the one that's put out this narrative. He walked out of the house. Yeah, no one is cleared, and you have to be a suspect to be cleared. None have been named a suspect. And in fact, they haven't even named this a criminal investigation. So the whole thing is just like, wait, what? You're still a suspect? No foul play mentioned? No criminal investigation being mentioned? But you're not cleared? Same, Seth. He says, I don't know, but my gut wants answers from the mother. I mean, you're the last one to have seen him. I mean, I hate to say it, but like, isn't that kind of statistically like, I mean, not only are you close to the child and a parent, but you were the last one that's seen him. And you were on the phone that night for 3 hours? Why? If they can say, listen, that's a normal thing for us. Look at our phone records. We're always on the phone on this night and this night and this night for 3 hours. Then I'd be like, I'm so sorry. I definitely judged this situation wrong. You know what? I can admit when I'm wrong. But everyone's kind of been saying the same thing. Like, what could you possibly talk about for 3 hours? And remember what the stepfather says when he was asked how long his work site is to the house? 3 hours and 15 minutes on the dot, or step to step, or something like that. Debbie says, to me, the 3 are shady AF. Thank you, Christine. And yes, Jen and Allie definitely, they put in their heart and soul into the cases. That's why I like them too. I followed this case very closely in the beginning, but stopped because it got really out of control. You didn't know what to believe, and everyone was fighting with each other. I know. And it's like, I stepped away from Summer Wells because of that reason. And I'm trying not to back away from another missing person case because other people turn into a circus. Like, to me, it's like letting those people who turn into a circus win by stepping away from responsible, like, reporting and discussions on the case. But who am I? Right, half of them, yeah, the people who are causing chaos, fresh out of jail or fresh off of parole, don't belong anywhere near a missing child case or true crime in general. It's starting to piss me off, just in it for the money and making up stuff as they go along. Send me money, I'm going to go and travel to their house and drive by. Why are people doing it? My God. All right, let's see what this article has to say. Yeah, we can't let them win. Like, I'm not going to just back away because things are too chaotic. Like, this kid needs his face and name out there and not attached to these YouTubers' faces.
Bounty hunter is now joining the search for missing teen Sebastian Rogers and is also raising the reward money. Several agencies, including the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, leading searches for the teen before eventually scaling back. Well, Dwayne Chapman, better known as Dog the Bounty Hunter, tells News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry his team will get answers.
In the last 6 months, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, along with several other agencies, searched for a little over a week before officials said they were scaling back to focus efforts on the investigative side. Following the search for Riley Strain, search groups like the United Cajun Navy have helped look.
The outpouring was just so strong for us to stay and look for Sebastian. We said, you know what, since we're here, let's do it.
But that team withdrew from search efforts with no sign of Sebastian. Bullhorn Betty, a true crime social media influencer, also joined in on the search efforts, supporting Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers.
Our opinions are that a few people have more information than what they're saying.
Since Sebastian...
See, that's the problem. The thing is, I agree with her, like, as far as believing people around him know more. The problem is her approach and her method. It's just like, it's too extreme. It's too like, whoa, like the judge is approving a order of protection. Like, you must be doing something over that's crossing the line then. Jeez.
First went missing his father, Seth. has not given up on searching for his son.
Search that we're doing today is a recovery effort. And I'm praying that we don't find him.
Now, celebrity bounty hunter Dwayne Chapman, known as Dog, has stepped in to help Seth.
This is one of the most horrendous cases of missing children that we've ever worked on.
Law enforcement has not said anything criminal happened to Sebastian, but Dog says he wants to find anyone responsible for Sebastian's disappearance.
The bottom line is, if you hurt a child like this, you've got a problem. So that is the main motivation for me to be hunting who did this.
Dog and his team created a new missing persons flyer for Sebastian Rogers. In it, they explain how they're working independently from law enforcement, reevaluating the information collected and following up on new leads. They also say they've added $50,000 more to the reward, making a total of $100,000.
You know, because that is a lot of money. I don't care if you're rich, you know, that's a lot of money.
Dog tells me he believes that by working with Seth, following up on leads, and an increase in the reward money, they will find the answers they've been looking for.
You can run, but you can't hide who did it. We're going to find out.
In Nashville, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
Now,
and guys, unfortunately, without a lot more information, I mean, how long can this live stream go on for? I'm going to play the News Nation episode. As I pull that up, I want you guys to kind of share in chat and those on replay in the comment section, like, what is your theory? Like, what happened to him? Because, you know, I'm open to all sorts of things. In fact, let me see if I can find a theory as I start this video that I had stumbled on. I'm like, that's interesting. I don't know if I believe it, but hang on.
As a parent, it pains me to say this, and it's going to pain you to hear it, but there really are boogeymen out there. There really are. There are evil people who snatch kids away from the one place on earth that they should be completely safe, their own beds. Just ask the parents of Elizabeth Smart. Just ask the parents of Jessica Lunsford or Polly Klaas or Madeline McCann. Those are kids who are tucked in tight 1 minute, gone the next. And sometimes these kids make it home again. Think about Elizabeth Smart. Oftentimes, sadly, they do not. Always, though, the people who love them keep hoping. And when the headlines fade, the rest of the world moves on. But tonight, we are all hoping for the safe return of Sebastian Rogers. And if you have forgotten Sebastian, and I hope you have not, we are past the 6-month mark from the night that he went to bed back in February, but was gone by morning. And when I say gone, I mean gone. No notes, no leads. Sebastian's clothes, even his shoes, were still there. He's 15. He's from the Nashville area, and Sebastian has autism, which does not make the search or the investigation any easier. The Tennessee police and the FBI have been on the case from the start, but so far, nothing. The feds even put up a $50,000 reward for information leading to Sebastian Rogers' return. And now that reward has doubled to $100,000, thanks to America's most famous bounty hunter. I want to welcome back to the program Sebastian Rogers' father, Seth Rogers, and also with us is Tony Mathis. He speaks for the Rogers family during this emergency, and the man who now is on the Sebastian Rogers case, Dog the Bounty Hunter. Welcome to all three of you. Seth, I'll come to you first. We spoke, I think, 10 weeks ago or so, and I just wanted to touch base with you. Have you had any updates, any news, anything at all that that feels promising?
We've had some, and we've had some tips. And I've passed them over to Sumner County and my private investigator that's working on it. But as for news from Sumner County, no, I don't even know if they follow up with any of the tips we give them anymore.
Can you share those tips?
He sounds very depressed. And you hear Ashley, can you share those tips? What? Why would we share? I don't know if he does. I haven't watched this. I watch it live with you guys. Yes, exactly. Music City Mom. This is ridiculous to incite people to go to Katie's house and call TBI and FBI. This is hate and very scary. Yeah, it's just way too extreme. Like, there's covering true crime cases and reporting and being a journalist responsibly, or freelance journalist, whatever you want to call it. And then there's like, let's harass. Like, what in the world? The fact that they moved, like when they left the house, makes me think they know what happened. Now, have they moved out of the house completely? Because I know that in the last TV interview that Katie did, she was like back at the house. So did they leave again? Jay, hilarious. You report the news. You don't make the news, right? Oh my gosh. Oh, Heather, thank you. Can only stop by to hit the like button. Hope all is well with everyone. I'm having a night. Oh, thanks for stopping in. Hope it goes better. Seth is depressed because he thought him and Katie would go hand in hand to find Sebastian. He is disgusting. Nobody needs to know where they are. Right, who knows what's going on now? Seth is shady. Also, sorry, it's how I feel. You're entitled to your opinion. Like I said, I'm side-eyeing everyone. I don't have a top person, but I will say Katie kind of being the last person to see him, it's kind of like, you might be the top person. I don't know. In my opinion, CP and KP got rid of him so he could get full custody of his daughter, and CP didn't want Sebastian near her. His words. That's true. He did say that. Yeah, again, they should have had alarms or cameras if Sebastian were to leave. I just think his mom fell short with his leaving. It's very odd. And then she also states, he's not a runner. He would never run away. I don't know why he walked out that door without shoes or a coat or his phone. Doesn't like the outdoors. I don't know. I think they got mad at him, the mother and stepdad. Maybe, yeah, and he, or perhaps he OD'd on one of the mother's Xanax, which she is prescribed, and they covered it up. Even his own medication perhaps could have been an OD. And that's fair if you don't know what happened. Because honestly, I'm all over the place. I really am. I think that it could go either way. I know, Debbie. I'm at that point too where I'm like, what if, it isn't the one who saw him last that's responsible? Wouldn't it be weird if it was the bio parents and CP has nothing to do with it? Just saying. I know this is probably nuts. FYI, I don't like CP either. Right. Just because he's had a shitty past and everything looks suspicious. Like, what if he isn't involved? We need someone who truly wants to find Sebastian without the circus. Agree. Let me see if I can find that post. It was a wild theory. If I can't find it, I kind of remember what it was saying. Sorry, I'm looking. I'll play this video while I look through my phone because I definitely screenshot it because I was like, what?
Publicly, or do you have to keep them under the vest, understandably?
I'm keeping them under the vest because if they are Sebastian, I don't want somebody that doesn't have his best interests following up on our lead. Some people are doing leads and they don't even want to be involved in this case. And I can understand why. I mean, we've got people that are out here in the social media world that, throw daggers at everybody that's helping me find Sebastian. And we've even had him go to jail now.
Dog jump.
Okay. Seth, we understand that they're hoping to help you, but their approach is just wrong.
In here, you know this blueprint, right? You know when a parent is trying everything. They're hiring their own people outside of the police. They're collecting tips. They're passing them on. They're processing. Where do you take this case now that you're on board? How do you do things differently? And since it's been 6 months plus, how do you even begin?
Well, we began at the very beginning. And because I'm not a real law enforcement officer, I can do a lot of things that law enforcement cannot do. And I don't break the law, but I will bend it till it's fracturing point. So it's very sad because in the very beginning, I thought Sean may be involved in some kind of disappearance, or I thought the little boy was deceased. Days now into it, I have talked to Sean. I know that he was working. This is his only child. I have 12. I've been through this before one of my daughters were killed, but this is amazing. I know that he had nothing to do with this. This guy can barely even talk without crying. I'm looking at him tonight and we're both, crybabies. I'm looking at him right there on your show and I'm like, I just want to start crying. Listen, I'm going to hunt these people down. I think the boy is still alive. I'm telling you right now, Ashley, I think this little boy was stashed somewhere because custody was just going to get very soon, very, very soon. Mr. Rogers was going to get custody of his son. And I think there's so much jealousy. The old saying.
If Katie and Chris if Chris didn't want him around his daughter, why would they care if Seth got custody? Wouldn't that solve their problems? I don't understand what Dog is saying. So much jealousy surrounding it. What? And how many of you guys, I hate to even ask, but do you guys think Dog does that he's still alive? Tony says, I feel he was taken by someone he knew. Not saying either parent or Seth, but I don't think he'd go with anyone else, in my opinion. Right. Yeah, the police haven't cleared Seth, but Dog has cleared Sean. Oh my gosh. He's like, I don't believe Sean did anything. Okay, but what about Seth? Yes, he's half native. And he lives in Hawaii. I mean, I don't think you can avoid being tan if you're living down there. Right. If Seth hadn't started drama, lied, and brought Bozo the Clown to be a spokesperson, and now has Mouth of the South, BHB, I may not be side-eyeing him. Amen to that. The thud sticks with me. And what sticks with me even more than the thud is the fact in her first few interviews, she doesn't mention the thud. Even when asked, did anything stand out to you as unusual that night? It's not mentioned. And then all of a sudden it starts being mentioned and repeated. What the heck? That's true. Yeah, they did have, little lamb chop as your picture. Didn't they have cadaver dogs out there sniffing around their house, in the vehicles? Wouldn't they have picked up on a child that has passed away? You would think. A lot of people debate it. Oh, there wasn't enough time. Oh, there's things that can interfere with it. Oh, it depends on the handler. Oh, it depends on the dog. It's so hard to go with the dog argument. All I know is some dog smelled some scent and jumped right into the pond, right? The dogs had picked up no scent, but somebody said something about one of them did and jumped into the pond. I gotta say on this, it's a whole mess. Unfortunately, it happens in every missing child case that gains any media attention, and it's sad AF. It's disturbing. I still think the stepfather did it, and the mom knows about it, but she's too scared to say anything. And she doesn't want to lose her man, I'm sure. You don't think he's alive. Neither does Natasha. Me either. No, I don't think so. Tony still has hope, so that's good. Who the heck is Sean? Forensics team was denied access to the bricks van? That's ridiculous. Why didn't they get a court order? Yeah, and they drained the pond. Yeah, no, I try to not treat cases like politics like a lot of channels do. I mean, if there's no information, I got to stay open-minded to anything, right? Every time they got us a substantial lead, it was breezed over. Suspicious. Apparently, Sean is Seth, not you, the father.
Saying if you can't have him, if I can't have him, nobody will have him. I think that's exactly what we're seeing here.
Does that sound like Katie and Chris to you guys about Seth? If we can't have him, you can't have him. Who would make their kid go missing over a custody battle? I mean, I'm sure it's happened, but like they've already stated things about him being kind of a handful and the accidents that took place, and he lies sometimes, and I don't want my biological daughter around him. Sounds like it would have been the perfect thing for them to have bio dad take over.
Is a domestic squabble over a child.
Thanks for watching. Go to join.
I don't know what to think of that. Holly says she could see it happening. Kid goes missing over a custody battle. Happens more than you think, but I don't think that's the case here personally. Sebastian didn't even want to live with Seth. They didn't do this because they wanted sole custody. That's scary. Wow. Dog is 71. He seems pretty hip with it. Or no, for 71. Just got remarried. In my opinion, law enforcement has a theory, and they're making sure they have everything they need to get all future warrants and evidence to make charges stick. It's coming. I really hope so, but I know that we all said that in the Summer Wells case. Like, don't worry, they got something working behind the scenes. Something's coming. There's an arrest coming. And then it never came. And I mean, at this point, is there going to be an arrest made for Summer? I just don't want to look at things negatively, but I guess that case has really made me question TBI and what's going on in certain cases. Like, do they have a grip of what's happening, or are they just as confused as all of us? Like, obviously they have more information and evidence than what we have. Hey, Melissa. But do they have a steady ground to walk on? Yes, I know. They were cute together, weren't they? No worries, Bio Girl. There's not much updates, sadly. We're just keeping his name and face out there. Yeah, I hope they find him too. I don't want this to be another Summer Wells case. I really don't. I think law enforcement knows more. I just don't know if they have what they need still. The only reason she wouldn't want to relinquish full custody would be losing child support. Good point. The money issue. But I mean, he's 15. How long's child support going to last? Couple more years? Like, is this all over a couple more years? Elizabeth says she wasn't getting child support from Seth. If she relinquished the custody, would Seth have wanted her to give child support, though? But still, couple years. Child support and SSI check. And how long, although the SSI check might last, I don't know. No, they got no child support. Seth got alimony. I just don't know if this is motivated by money. A lot of things, you do follow the money. Hip? Looking like he's on his 15th comeback tour of his hair rock band. Oh my God. My question is, who's dyeing his hair? Because no way he has natural blonde hair still. There is no child support. They agreed to buy things and pay for things without needing court mediation. There is no SSDI for Sebastian. My gosh. I don't know. And even if she did have to pay, so as of right now, they have no child support agreement because they wanted to do it without court mediation. Let's say Seth wants to bring it to court and get the mediation and child support. I mean, how long does that last? His birthday's in December. He'd be turning 16. Child support only lasts till you're 18. So I just don't know if I buy like the theory that, oh, she didn't want to have to pay even if they went to court for it. I don't know. I just don't. Doesn't sound conceivable to make your kid go missing over that. Is dog really on the case? What has he done? We read through, I know you just joined Being Bio Girl, everything that he's bringing to the table. So we already read through his resources that he's using as well. If you wanted to rewind. And those I see, so Allison just joined also. I mean, we don't have, sadly, any updates. So the live stream is pretty much over. I wish there was more information. But if you just joined and kind of want what we talked about, you'd have to rewind. This weekend, I don't go live. Sorry. Child support lasts longer than 18 in certain circumstances, or if they go to college, depending on the state. Oh. In fact, now that you mention it, now I'm remembering Kevin Federline wanted to move his and Britney Spears' boys to Hawaii, because child support lasts until they're like early 20s. I can't remember the date or the age, but I was like, wow, why doesn't Kevin just get a job? But yeah, you are right. So that would have to be something to kind of look into, I guess, to get 100% verification on. Court is Tuesday for and her threats against the family. Well, I won't be following that. If people want to give me the updates and, then that's what they'll have to do. I really don't follow the drama and the drama. Like, I don't have time for that. And I really think it like dumbs me down. Like, I'll click into a drama or drama stream or that person's channel and I'm like, I feel dumber watching this. Like, there's so much other things to be talking about. But yes, do not leave without hitting the like just to get the story out there. I haven't done any coverage on Wade Wilson. I know that Melissa Jade has been following it and doing great live streams on it and having excellent and interesting commentary on it, as well as Duty Ron. And both channels I moderate for. So I highly recommend you check out Melissa Jade and Duty Ron for Wade Wilson. I find him very fascinating. I know that sounds crazy to say about a psycho, but I guess if you're not on, if you're in true crime, you kind of understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. I'm not saying that I wouldn't cover him. I'm just enjoying. Sometimes I like following cases when other people cover them. Like Letitia Stout. I never really covered Gannon's case or Letitia, but I really enjoyed watching Melissa Jade and Alex Erickson talk about the case. Yeah, he's a good friend for sure. He's a good guy. Yeah, he is interesting, and his fan club is interesting too. Yeah, so many women. I can't even believe it. Enthralled by Wade Wilson. I would love to do, okay, MK, we're pretty much leaving too. You have a great night. I'd love to do some Wade Wilson coverage with Melissa Jade, kind of as like a panel kind of to talk. Maybe someday we can arrange that. Oh, was she? Nancy Grace was talking about Sarah Boone earlier. Guys, we are doing our deep dives into that before the trial because the judge has stated, unless there was new information today on Nancy, that it's still on in October. They are still following through with the October trial date. We have been doing weekly, once a week live streams on Sarah Boone, kind of recapping things and kind of keeping up with the updates in court. And yeah, that's going to be really interesting to watch. I wish I wasn't tied to watching my kid all day. Otherwise, I would live stream the trial too, but live streams during the day is just not ideal for me right now. Maybe in the future, guys, when the kids are off to school. Jay says, I still don't think Sarah's new lawyer will last. I know. We'll see. All right, guys. So since we're on the topic, let's start the week off next week on Monday with a Sarah Boone recap and deep dive like we've been doing. We're still in her interrogation. So we'll go through that. We will obviously talk other cases as well. I'm really disgusted with the whole Stephen Stern stuff. We might take a break from it until we get some more updates. We'll see. But yes, guys, we will talk next week. You guys have a wonderful weekend. You might see me in some chats that I'll be moderating for over the weekend. Other than that, I hope to see you guys Monday night and then the rest of the week, Monday through Friday here. And we'll be covering other cases. So talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend. Like I said, hit that like button on the way out. We need to keep Sebastian's name out there. Let's spread the message that he's what's important and not the drama attached to this. So, hi, Roxanne. I saw you come in earlier. I think there was a video playing. Thank you so much for being here, and I will message you in a little bit. Thank you to my moderators. Hi, Keenly. I just appreciate you guys very much. Johnny, message me if you go live tonight. I would love to join the live stream. And yeah, good night, guys.